Hello, Pioneers. I hope you're well. My name is Ben, and this is the Satisfactory Plus mod for the game Satisfactory. On the last episode, we dealt with 180 cubic meters of crude oil, building this monstrosity of a factory. It's not decorated yet, obviously, but we're getting a lot of extra power generation from these fuel generators here, and using petroleum coke to power these. It was a lot of math, and it wasn't that entertaining, but I hope it was informative and at least illustrated what is required to fully process all the byproducts of crude oil. On this episode, I think we'll clean up the quantum crystal stuff, get it somewhere a little bit more permanent, and start utilizing it to feed some machines, particularly manufacturers that are, say, making these circuit boards or computers or heavy modular frames. And we're going to start work on automation, at least a trickle of the space elevator parts, so that while we're building some fix-it farms and some other things like that, some other new factories, we're going to be having a trickle of the space elevator parts so we can get that done eventually. It's going to take a long time. It requires a lot of stuff. But the first thing we're going to do is unlock smokeless powder, mostly for the inventory slots. I've actually collected enough quantum crystal as well to unlock the item storage Mark III, and I'm particularly excited to do that because I want to see what these nodes are. So let's take a look. So it unlocks something called Enable Push Rule for the new network tier. We already have an Enable Push Rule for Inventory Push module. I'm not sure what this is. And then we've got item storage Mark IV, Mark V. Oh man, that's going to take a while to get to. Looking into the space elevator parts, we need cobalt plates and packaged hydrochloric acid, which you cannot see in the top right, but trust me, it is there. And so let's start looking at hydrochloric acid. We are going to need salt, which is not a problem. It's made in Cryotech Industries right there. We need water, not a problem. We have our aqueduct. And we need sulfuric acid. And this is made in a chemical reactor. Okay? Now we have to go back to sulfuric acid, which is made in a chemical reactor by combining sulfurous gas and water. Water's not a problem. We have the aqueduct. Sulfurous gas is made by mixing oxygen with sulfur powder. Sulfur powder is not a problem because we have sulfur as a byproduct of the oil right here, which was all part of the plan, and we can send into the crusher right here to make sulfur powder. And the oxygen is going to be made by air splitting air from an air collector and fabric. And that's going to give us oxygen, methane, and coal, which was also part of the plan because we have a bunch of fabric being made right over here. In fact, yes, we're full. And it's going to keep going. We're making 60 per minute, so that's what we have to work with. I think this looks like a good spot to make a hydrochloric acid facility, since most of the products are going to be coming from the aqueduct up there and this factory itself. Let's see, the final step is going to be making the hydrochloric acid. Actually, the final step will be packaging the hydrochloric acid for at least one of the milestones in the space elevator, which is fine. Let's go with it. Let's do this methodically. I found that to be quite helpful when we did the last episode. Let's plop down an AI fluid packer. So that's going to make us our hydrochloric acid. Packaged hydrochloric acid. Easy peasy. So chemical reactor to make the hydrochloric acid. Perfect. Now we need something to make sulfuric acid, which if I remember correctly is another chemical reactor. Okay. So now this is going to be the sulfuric acid. And now we need sulfurous gas, which is a blast furnace. Making sulfurous gas. And now we need sulfur powder. We need 120 per minute, so we're going to need 4 crushers. Oh, we actually can only run 3 of them anyway. Which is fine, this doesn't need to run at 100% efficiency. Again, we're just trying to get a trickle here. And we can plop down a merger. I'm guessing it comes out of that far port. Yeah, been wrong before. And I'll be wrong again. Next is oxygen. We need to do chemical splitter again from, excuse me, a chemical reactor to split the air. Alright, air splitting. So now we need air, which we can use an air collector for. So let's put the air collector over here so we can hook it up on this side. And we'll need fabric. There, everything's powered. Well, now this is powered anyway. So this is very interesting. Okay, now we've got air and methane. So that's where we want this, oxygen. Okay, we need to vent the methane or burn it or something and trash the coal. This needs that sulfur powder. So air gets split with the fabric. This is going to make sulfurous gas. This is going to make sulfuric acid when we mix it with water. Perfect. This is going swimmingly. I guess since we need water, it makes sense to try the quantum water collectors. So let's do that. And after just a little bit more resource gathering, we have all the materials we need for the Faxit fluid receiver and even the sender. And I even took the opportunity to build a fluid server and put a fluid drive Mark 1 in there. It only gives us a storage of 20 cubic meters, but I'm going to test it where we just input what we're going to use and output. So we basically need 0 storage because it's going to go in one end and out the other. Okay, yeah, I like the idea of doing a test with this fluid quantum crystal stuff just for temporary water instead of running a pipe over, because it's temporary, right? So I figured it'll be a good test for it. Not that we probably really need a test, because I assume it works exactly like the item one. But I don't care, I like a good test, and I think this will be a lot of fun to try it out. So I'm going to run this blue network cable all the way up here. Awesome. Now we have network connectivity up here. You know, one of the things I really like about the Nexus, I feel like it's going to make things too easy eventually, and so I'm not sure how much I'm going to utilize it. But I think it's really cool to have a data network and the power network to run across the world. In fact, it does make me want to revisit and make some sort of pretty epically large power infrastructure pole so we can run both lines over. I think that'd be pretty cool. Anyway, fluid receiver. Oh, that rock is right in the way, but I'm not going for looks here. I'm going for testing purposes. so I don't really care. Awesome. Wait a minute, we need actual power. Alright, now we'll hook up the data. And let's see what happens. Is the water going in? There we go. Let's set a maximum amount of 10 cubic meters. See if that works. Oh, I input the max at the wrong spot. No. No, not that much. Just 10. Okay. 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 10. What if I do 11? Oh dear. Another thing I want to do soon, relatively soon, and I think I'll do a little bit on camera and a little bit between episodes, but I want to finish all of these buildings because I really do want it to feel like a city, and right now when I look at it, all I see is just platforms. I want to see completed buildings so I can build more new buildings on top of those buildings. I don't think I've showed this off yet, but I really fancy the roof I came up with, that circular building. I just did the inclined roofs there, and then I put the glass, and it made this really, really cool spiral pattern. I'm very pleased with that. Just takes too dang long to build detailed buildings. Now we just need a... which one's which? Yeah, sender. Right here, hooked up to the logistical network. And now we've got water. Alright, so now we're making sulfuric acid, which is very, very cool. Actually, let's do sulfuric acid from that one to that one, then water from that to there, and now we'll go get the salt, and we'll be nearly done. There's our salt. We can't package it until we make a bunch of those containers, but you know what we could do? We could clean some steatite. Alrighty then, let's get a sorter. Oh, this is embarrassing. And we're back and better than ever, because we have the required materials to build our sorter. So dumb. So dumb. You know what's not going to happen? That, once I get this logistics network filling my inventory automatically. Alright, hydrochloric acid. I love it. I love it so much. Let's find some power. We're going to throw in something. Advanced sorting. We're going to sort steatite to get crushed cobalt. We are getting crushed cobalt, and it feels good. Let's find out which output port it's coming from. And then we can start cleaning it, or washing it. What's my life? There it is. Crushed cobalt. Okay, now the crushed cobalt needs to be consumed in an ore washer. What are the chances I don't have the items I need to make the ore washer? What are the chances is I'm blind? Oh, thank goodness. I thought I was going to have an aneurysm. And let's just take a little bit of water from right there to there so we can get purified cobalt. This is exciting. Our first ore washing, and it's cobalt no less. How cool is that? We now have this very, very important task of getting rid of the dirty water. Actually, how do I do it? I was just going to hand eliminate it, but this is amazing. I am going to do that, though, because I don't want to spend that much more time on this right now, since this is temporary. Although I will say, look at this. Look at what you get when you clean dirty water. I have to assume you get one of each of these. This would be a weird way to write, like if you just get the corresponding one. Look at this, though. We're going to need a huge, huge... I think I want all the dirty water. I need to think on this. I'm getting too excited. Alrighty then, an industrial fluid buffer. Let's get rid of this dirty water. Oh no, there's dirty water. Flushed. Let's go take a look at adding in the lime and cleaning the dirty water instead and see what that does. Because we're going to need 1,000 purified Caterium and nickel as well. Let's throw down a fluid conditioner. Pipe this dirty water into it. Go grab some lime dust. Okay, I went and put some crushed steatite into the system. So now we can take it out, just like that. Okay, now if we just add a container here, we should be able to run the filter in. We need only 15 per minute, so we can use Mark 1 belts, which is good because I'm running very low on belt material. And there we go. Now we'll be getting our purified Caterium and nickel as well. And in 5 short hours, we'll have enough purified nickel. Okay, so we're going to need to do something more than that. But at least a trickle for right now is pretty good. Awesome, so that's how you do it. That's how you use hydrochloric acid to wash stuff. It's pretty cool. I think we need to make a really, 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 really large facility. And we should be almost done after not even too long. Look at that. Look at that. We are 7 away from the 1,000... what is this? Purified cobalt that we need for this milestone, which is super cool. I think after this happens, we will... Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Okay, let's turn off this... No, let's change the recipe at least. Let's go for purified Caterium. Okay, that was a mess running back and forth. Felt really disjointed and unplanned, but everything's going really well right now. I've got in the crushed sapmonium and I'm able to purify it, or sort it in with hydrochloric acid into the crushed Caterium, and then turn it into this purified Caterium. So we only need 1,000 of that. This is only going to take a couple minutes, and then we'll switch over to nickel. Yeah, easy peasy. In fact, while we're waiting for this to build up and finish, I may as well start getting the rubite I believe, to get the nickel. Yeah, crushed nickel comes from the tier 2 sorted rubite. So I needed to just set up a rubite input. So we need 100 per minute. And then we'll get 30 crushed nickel per minute. Look at that. And just like that, we are essentially done with the Caterium. And as I say that, we are now officially done. Let's change this to tier 2 sorted sapphirite rubite. Alright, give it all of its sand back. Alright, and this is going to be purified nickel. Okay, so now it's time to go and find that closest rubite. I know there's three pretty close, all similar distances, I think. 359, 447, 458 meters. Okay, so there's our destination, south, 359 meters. Now, if you're American like me, don't be confused. Meters are just sci-fi yards. Crushed rubite, perfect. Let's go change that machine over. Okay, there we go. There, so we have all of the purified caesium that we need, and a little bit of the nickel we need. It's going to take about a half an hour of waiting to get this nickel, so I think we should probably figure out something else to do. What that something else is, I haven't pre-planned, so this should be interesting. Oh, actually, let's, work on this. Let's extend this wall to be even. Here we go. Now we're cooking with gas. Okay. Well, that won't do. Actually, that might do. Yeah, that'll do, I think. Let me get a better angle. I think that's going to be okay. Yeah. Not bad. Easy way to hide how two mismatched walls are coming together. Also, I think it gives the shape a pretty cool look. Alright, so we have this circular building now being encompassed by this almost moon shape. I wonder how high I could get to take a look at the building. Yeah, generally moon shape. And I still do want to kind of hug this one with another building that we're going to use to build motors. But that's not the task for us right now. I think now would be a good time to plug our Discord server. We have a lot of people that like to hang out, talk about Satisfactory and Satisfactory Plus, and honestly, we've got topics popping up all the time. There's people that play multiplayer at Dyson Sphere Project. We're going to have some other server-wide games going on. It's a lot of fun. Why don't you join up, say hello. The link is in the description below. We could run more train tracks. It is, I think, just about the time where we're going to need to put out a bunch of miners on pure nodes and start bringing in a ton of ore via train. That's going to be important here soon when we need to really ramp up production. Honestly, even Ferrum's pretty large, but honestly, the amount of production in there isn't that much. This isn't even being utilized. We just never went out and got more ore because I haven't honestly really needed to. And I was hesitant knowing this tier 2 sorting with hydrochloric acid was coming, and now I'm a little concerned a tier 3 will be coming, so I don't really know. I know what we can do. Let's make some packaged containers. And I forgot I did that before I took a break earlier. Haha! Just threw some plastic in there, iron wire, and we've got, we're well on our way to package enough packages to fill the hydrochloric acid milestone requirement for the space elevator. So that's pretty good. Actually, I don't want those cluttering up my inventory quite yet. What to do. And just like that, we've got all the nickel we need. I didn't even figure out what I want to do next. I think it's slugs and fix-it farming. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier or not, but Kmods, the developer of the Satisfactory Plus mod, have fixed the bug with the quantum crystals that didn't allow you to use a steel mining head on it like intended. So I can actually now automatically mine them. However, it also appears to need energized slug slime. And I never did automate that. So I kind of think we should maybe do fix-it farming, slugs, and get some slug slime so we can keep going with the quantum stuff. Anyway, we'll think about that. I'm all over the place this episode, as usual. Into space! I haven't watched this thing launch into space in quite a while, so let's give it the attention it deserves. While I think about what I want to say next. Oh, I remember. Ha! I want to look at Mark IV belts and see what we need to get those going. Because I think we're almost there. Oh yeah. Yeah, what's this? Tin plates. I know we don't have a lot of them, but I think we should have enough. Let's go look real quick. I think we have to pull them out of the machine because they're not automated into a container yet. Boy, I really just need more tin. Why is this all backed up? Oh. One of the reasons this is backed up is that isn't a smart splitter as required. That was just a regular splitter. That's super annoying on my part. Let's do overflow to the right. There, that's going to be much better. You know what? This whole thing needs to be pulled out. It's so out of date. I built this like the first or second episode, I'm pretty sure, and it hasn't been touched. Yeah. This is garbage. We must redo the tin, and the brass, and the bronze, and the lead, and the... oh my god. Well, we could at least replace the metal mining head with a steel one. That'll get us a little bit more production. Double, in fact. I can't believe I didn't touch this in so long. So it looks like we won't have expert conveyors too terribly soon. We've got solar energy. Jetpack needs Invar. High voltage needs Invar and Cobalt. And pipeline engineering Mark III needs Invar. So we'll keep progressing on the space elevator parts, get those automated as best we can, and we should hopefully have those finished up production right around the same time we finish tiers 5 and 6. Very, very soon. Very cool. That's gonna do it. We got a decent amount done, finally made some hydrochloric acid, and got some pure cobalt made and launched that milestone, which feels really good. I hemmed and hawed a lot, and I don't know what I want to do next for this episode, so I'm going to end it right there with a montage where we're going to expand this biological water factory and design it and decorate the building, I think. And then next episode, we're going to do fix-it farming, and we're going to go hard onto slugs and the slug juice that we need to mine quantum crystals. So if you're not into the montages, you can skedaddle right now. And otherwise, I hope you enjoy. See you soon. Bye now.